This is so crazy. You can't make this stuff up. This was on CNBC. Goldman Sachs asks in biotech research report, is curing patients a sustainable business model? I'm not lying. Goldman Sachs asks in a biotech research report, is curing patients a sustainable business model? Of course it's not. And there you go. Because sick people are a business. Just like war, sick people are a business. Maybe that's why they're not fixing the pipelines in the country. We profit from people who are sick. Maybe that's why they cut the few laws that were put in place to keep our water and our air clean, because sick people make money. So Goldman Sachs analysts attempted to address a touchy subject. It's not a touchy subject. This isn't even a subject. It shouldn't even be a subject. Address a touchy. What the hell? Really? If you have a cure for a patient, is that even a question whether you should cure the patient or not? I guess it is. I guess it's a touchy subject. Back at touchy subject for biotech companies, especially those involved in pioneering gene therapy treatment. Cures could be bad for business in the long run. I feel like is curing patients a sustainable business model? Analysts asked in an April 10th report entitled The Genome Revolution. The potential to deliver one-shot cures is one of the most attractive aspects of gene therapy, genetically engineered cell therapy, and gene editing. However, such treatments offer a very different outlook with regard to reoccurring revenue versus chronic therapies. They don't want us to get better. They don't. And take this from someone who was taking oxycodone for a year, over a year, me. Why? Why couldn't they heal me? Why were they making painkillers my only option? Because healing me wouldn't make money. Because a healed person, like they just said, reoccurring revenue versus chronic therapies. So just real quick, I broke my back. I was in a car accident. I was in pain. And I'm going to the doctor. And my doctor, when my insurance needed a note from my doctor for the chiropractor, my insurance, so I have to pay for that here. I paid for insurance so that I could go to a chiropractor. I paid for my insurance. So when my insurance asked my doctor to give them a letter saying that I should go to a chiropractor, my doctor said no, that a chiropractor would not help me. And I had been in chronic pain at this point for a year and a half. I stopped working. I owned my own business, and I'm an actress. I had to shut my business down because I couldn't do what I had to do because of my back, my broken back. I had no more income. My life was falling apart. Let me tell you, when you're in severe pain, you're not the same person either. Everything I knew ended and changed. And I don't even know how my family members, my husband and my daughter, I tried to be good and nice and not let my pain interfere with our relationships, but it's not easy. So when I went to my doctor after all this time of suffering, and I told him time and time again, I did not want to take pharmaceuticals. I did not want to take pharmaceuticals. And he was always pushing them. And then it came. I need to go to a chiropractor. I need to see a massage therapist. Please sign this. Tell my insurance company. He said no. And I left the doctor's office that day with Percocet. gabapentin, a muscle relaxer. I call it a poo pill for opioid constipation. There was one more, I swear. I don't know. Okay? I left the doctor's office that day with literally, I had to get a bag. No, I didn't leave the doctor's office. It was a prescription. But when I went to the pharmacy, I had a bag full of pharmaceuticals, including Percocet, which is oxycodone. But I didn't have the letter from my chiropractor. Why? Because sick people, chronically sick people, make money. And there's no money to be made when you heal. So that's what they're saying here. Goldman Sachs is saying, whoa, 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 genome therapy. You want to heal people in one shot? No. No. People who are chronically ill make way more money, way more profit from chronically ill people. You are not going to do that. So, blah, 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 one-shot cures, recurring revenue, said analyst Salveen Richter. While this proposition carries tremendous value for patients and society, it could represent a challenge for genome medicine developers looking for sustainable cash flow. Richter cited Gilab Sciences treatment for hepatitis C. Listen to this, which achieved cure rates of more than 90%. The company's U.S. sales from these hepatitis C treatments peaked at $12.5 billion in 2015, but have been falling ever since. Goldman Sachs estimates the U.S. sales for these treatments will be less than $4 billion this year because of this genome therapy. So let me just repeat this. So all of a sudden we have this cure for hepatitis C, this gene therapy. It cures 90% of people with hepatitis C. So the company that was treating the hepatitis C with pharmaceuticals made $12.5 billion in 2015 and now made less than $4 billion this year because people were cured. But Goldman Sachs says this is bad and this should stop because it's bad for the American economy. That's really scary because this therapy is not just for people with hepatitis C. This can cure a lot of things. And Goldman Sachs has their hands in it now. And what does that mean? We might not be hearing about this gene therapy soon. It might just disappear. And these gene therapy treatments might just disappear. And it's not the first time that this has happened. Genetically engineered cell therapy is a case in point, or Guild is a case in point, where the success of its hepatitis C franchise has gradually exhausted the available pool of treatments for patients. In the case of infectious diseases, such as hepatitis C, curing existing patients also decreases the number of carriers able to transmit the virus to new patients. Thus, the incident pool also declines. Where an incident pool remains stable, e.g. in cancer, the potential for a cure poses less risk to the sustainability of a franchise. So not only was it curing people, it was preventing the spread of it. This is a wonderful thing. And Goldman Sachs says we need to stop this. This is bad for the economy. And the sad part is Goldman Sachs runs this country. Goldman Sachs contributed to political campaigns in 2018 So far, Goldman Sachs has contributed $2 million plus to political campaigns. In 2016, Goldman Sachs contributed almost $6 million to political campaigns. So the politicians are in the bag, the Goldman Sachs bag. And also, like I said, pharmaceuticals are a huge, huge business. The United States alone holds over 45% of the global pharmaceutical market. In 2016, this share was valued around $446 billion. Why would the United States want to cure people of diseases then? What would happen? $446 billion. I'm really scared that this gene therapy is going to disappear. I'm really scared in general that there are cures for diseases that people suffer from. And we're never going to see them because the politicians and the corporations who control the politicians don't want us to be well. And the sad part is, so many of these diseases are caused by the things that these politicians allow, these corporations push, the air pollution, the water pollution, the chemicals in our food. And then again, Trump's making sure that low-income families don't have access to fresh foods. We don't have access to health care. Was it 100 million people in this country still don't have access to health care? Yet we're dropping billion-dollar bombs on Syria. In 2016, 6 out of the top 10 pharmaceutical companies, were from the United States. And they were based on pure pharmaceutical revenue. That's from Statista.com. That's scary. I mean, like I said, I report, in Buffalo. And one friend in particular that I know, she has lupus. Her daughter has lead poisoning. My cousin just died of cancer. Thyroid cancer. My other cousin has MS. 3 other members of that family have had cancer. My aunt died of cancer. This is all in Buffalo. I was diagnosed with lupus. That's one town. That's one city. We have the highest rate of MS. One of the top rates of MS in the entire world. We're known for lupus. There's even a book written about it, the lupus epidemic in Buffalo. Nothing's being done. This is not new. This has been going on for over a decade. We know very well that the soil is polluted. The EPA has gone in there. They've tested the soil. They've shown reports that the soil is full of arsenic and lead and smelt and coke. Nothing's being done. We're dropping billion-dollar bombs in Syria, but nothing's being done to save these people. And now you have this gene therapy that is actually healing people, like in their genes, like a cellular level, like one-shot therapy that is healing people. This could heal people of so many diseases. But Goldman Sachs says that's not good for the economy.